As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the worn-out streets, I walked wearily back from a grueling day at work. The city's hum had transformed into a subdued murmur, and the air was laced with a sense of quiet unease. My daily routine had become a blur of emails, meetings, and deadlines, leaving me drained and seeking solace in the familiarity of my quiet neighborhood. With a sigh, I entered my apartment building, nodding at the nodding familiar faces of my neighbors. The hallway lights flickered intermittently, adding an odd rhythm to my footsteps. Unlocking my door, I stepped into my dimly lit apartment, shedding the weight of the day with every step. Normalcy surrounded me, the cozy furniture, the soft glow of a lamp, the distant sound of traffic outside, all contributing to a sense of security. I decided to unwind with a warm shower. The water flowed over me, washing away the tension. But as I closed my eyes to enjoy the moment, a faint whisper trickled into my ears. It was so faint that I dismissed it as a figment of my imagination, a byproduct of my exhaustion. Towel wrapped around my waist, I entered the living room, ready to embrace the comfort of my couch and a well-deserved night of rest. I switched on the TV, the news anchor's voice filling the room with a sense of normalcy. But then, amidst the broadcast, a strange distortion emerged, warping the sound and leaving behind an unsettling resonance. My brow furrowed, and I glanced around the room, my heart starting to race. Was the TV malfunctioning? Just as I was about to get up and investigate, the whisper returned, slightly louder this time. It was like a soft breeze carrying unintelligible words that danced at the edge of my perception. Panic started to claw at my chest, but I fought to maintain my composure. Maybe it was just my imagination playing tricks on me, my tired mind conjuring auditory hallucinations. I shook my head and focused on the TV screen, willing the strange disturbances to stop. As if in response to my silent plea, the TV abruptly shut off, plunging the room into eerie silence. My eyes widened, and I stood frozen for a moment before regaining control of my body. I reached for my phone, intending to call a friend for reassurance, but my phone screen remained blank, unresponsive to my touch. The room seemed to darken, shadows deepening as if they were alive, creeping toward me with a sinister intent. My breath quickened, my fight-or-flight response surging within me. I stumbled back, my gaze darting around the room, searching for an escape. That's when I heard it, a voice, unmistakably clear this time, cutting through the tension like a blade. It was a voice I recognized, but it was distorted, tinged with an otherworldly resonance. It spoke my name, syllables elongated and twisted, carrying an unexplainable dread. Me. Cold sweat dripped down my forehead as I pressed my hands over my ears, trying to block out the voice. But it seemed to come from all directions, an inescapable presence that reverberated through my very being. And then, just as suddenly as it began, the whispers ceased. The shadows retreated, and the room regained its usual appearance. I stumbled backward, my legs finally giving in as I collapsed onto the couch, my heart pounding. What had just happened? Was it a hallucination? A trick of my exhausted mind? I couldn't shake the feeling that I had brushed against something beyond my understanding, something that lurked just beyond the veneer of normalcy. As I sat there, breathless and shaken, I realized that my perception of the world had shifted. The mundane had turned into a realm of uncertainty, and the quiet of my apartment was now punctuated by the lingering echo of the voice. The experience had left an indelible mark on my psyche, a reminder that beneath the facade of everyday life, a hidden layer of unsettling truth could unveil itself at any moment. I sat on the couch, my thoughts racing like a storm. I couldn't ignore what I had just experienced. It was too vivid, too tangible to be dismissed as a mere illusion. I wondered if stress had finally pushed me over the edge, if exhaustion had played tricks on my mind. But deep down, I knew that what I had encountered went beyond mere fatigue. Night had fully descended outside my windows, casting elongated shadows that seemed to dance in the corner of my vision. The apartment, once a sanctuary, now held an air of uncertainty that made my skin prickle with unease. Every creak of the floorboards, every sigh of the wind outside, was amplified, making my heart skip a beat. Determined to regain my grasp on reality, I got up and headed to the kitchen. Maybe a cup of warm tea would help soothe my nerves. As I filled the kettle with water, I couldn't shake off the sensation of being watched, as if unseen eyes were fixed upon me from the shadows. The water boiled, and I poured it into my mug, watching the steam curl upwards. Just as I was about to take a sip, a whisper, barely audible, brushed against my ear. I froze, the cup hovering in midair, my heart pounding as if it wanted to escape my chest. Remember, the single word sent shivers down my spine. It was the same voice, the same distorted resonance. I tried to place it, to connect it to a memory, but it remained elusive, like a fragment of a dream slipping away upon waking. Uneasy, I set the cup down, my hands trembling. I rubbed my temples, trying to clear my mind. I needed to find an explanation, a rational way to account for these bizarre occurrences. Was it possible that the stress had unlocked something buried deep within my subconscious? Desperation mingled with curiosity, and I began to search online for any information that could shed light on my experience. I found threads on forums discussing similar instances, people hearing voices, feeling watched, all in the midst of their ordinary lives. Some suggested sleep deprivation or auditory hallucinations, while others recounted tales of ancient spirits and forgotten curses. I felt a knot of frustration build within me. The more I delved into these stories, the more I realized that there was no clear answer. And as I scrolled through the posts, the whispers returned, faint at first, then growing louder, as if mocking my attempts to uncover the truth. Embrace. I slammed my laptop shut, my heart racing anew. The voice seemed to linger in the air, reverberating through my mind. My thoughts were in disarray, a cacophony of fear, confusion, and a growing conviction that something beyond my understanding was at play. Exhaustion tugged at my eyelids, but I hesitated to sleep. The events of the evening had shaken my sense of reality, and I feared what might await me in my dreams. Yet, as fatigue overcame me, I sank into an uneasy slumber. In my dreams, I found myself standing in an unfamiliar place, surrounded by mist and shadows. The voice, that same voice, echoed all around me, growing louder and more insistent. Embrace the unknown. My heart raced, my breath quickened. I tried to flee, but my surroundings seemed to shift, trapping me in this nightmarish landscape. And then, from the shadows, a figure emerged, a figure with elongated limbs and eyes that held an otherworldly luminescence. The figure reached out, its fingers brushing my skin. I felt a surge of energy, a rush of memories flooding my mind. Memories that weren't my own, visions of ancient rituals, forgotten realms, and a hunger for understanding that transcended time. As my consciousness blurred the line between dream and reality, I realized that the whispers were not meant to haunt me, but to guide me. They were a call from the depths of my own consciousness, urging me to confront the mysteries that lay hidden within. When I awoke the next morning, I felt a strange sense of clarity. The events of the previous night had left an indelible mark on me, but they had also ignited a curiosity, a hunger for knowledge that I couldn't ignore. I no longer feared the whispers. Instead, I embraced them as a part of myself, a doorway to the secrets of my own mind. And so, I embarked on a journey of self-discovery, a quest to understand the whispers and the shadows that had invaded my reality. As I delved deeper, I realized that the line between normalcy and the unknown was far more porous than I had ever imagined, and that sometimes, the most terrifying truths are the ones we hide from ourselves. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy watching these true stories from the internet, please like, share and subscribe.